It's a Star Wars podcast, baby. It's Darth David. It's Jedi Jared. It's Star Wars. Come on! We're having a good time in the Star Wars galaxy, ladies and gentlemen, because Star Wars is in fuego. If you don't speak Spanish, Jared, that means it's on fire.
Oh, thank you.
I don't give a damn what the haters are saying, what the trolls are saying, what the bitchers and the bitches and the crybabies and the complainers are saying. Oh, Andor has ruined the Mandalorian for me. You know what I say? Fuck you, Joe Boo. That's what I say, because Joe Boo needs a refill of Mandalorian. This shit is fantastic. We're going to get into Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3. No, reverse that. Mandalorian Episode 2, Season 3. That's what we're going to do. We're also going to discuss The Bad Batch, another good episode. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Also, we got some Disney news. We got some Bob Iger news. We got some Taika Waititi in the news. We got the Damon Lindelof in the news. We got so much to do in the news. Oh my God. Everyone loves the Yaddle Chattle, a Star Wars podcast. It is rocketing up the charts as we speak right now in terms of Star Wars podcasts. According to the ranking on iTunes, it is the 11,112th most popular Star Wars podcast on the internet. Yeah! We're in the top 11,000 and change.
Very nice.
I saw you were trying, you almost were going to attempt to ruin hitting the post, as I always like to hit the post of that song there. For 5 points, right off the bat, what is the name of that Star Wars song, the actual track? I need you to give me the actual track, please.
Oh, is it Here They Come?
Oh my God. This is shocking. Jedi Jared gets 5 points right off the bat. The actual title is Here They Come. I always felt like it should have had the TIE Fighters to me is what it should sound like. TIE Fighter, TIE Fighter. No? That almost feels like the theme to a TIE Fighter. Bum, 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 bum. Or is that a theme to the Falcon? What would you consider that of a theme? Because the times that we've heard it, the Falcon is usually being chased by a TIE Fighter. Right?
Yeah.
Here They Come, and then they replayed that song again in Solo, and for a little bit they were getting chased by TIE Fighters. Then they went into the MOG or whatever that thing was, and they played that song. So if TIE Fighters were involved, is that a TIE Fighter song or is that a Millennium Falcon song? Let's go.
I think it's both.
One or the other. Let's go.
To be one, then it's definitely.
Okay, get on the mic. Get in front of it.
I'm right here.
Look at this guy.
I'm gonna say it because of the title. I think it has to do with TIE Fighters.
TIE Fighters.
Because it's like here they like.
Give yourself another half a point.
Oh wow.
I feel like it's a TIE Fighter song.
Yeah. Because it's like here they come, and it's that sense of urgency.
It's weird. I think of that song, more with TIE Fighters than even the Falcon, but obviously the Falcon is an integral component of that song.
Yeah.
So it's just weird the way the old mind works. Maybe though I'm a Sith, I concentrate on the bad guys, the dark side, so to speak. Maybe that's why I think of the Empire when I hear that song, and maybe normal level-headed people would think of the Millennium Falcon. What you've just revealed, Jedi Jared, is that you're twisted and psychotic just like Darth David. And that's why, and sometimes I yell at you, and you can't take it personally. Because as a Jedi, you're failing, son. Okay. Now, as a Sith, you are just like Yaddle Chattle. You are climbing up the charts, Daddy. You've said some very Sith-like things lately, and I've loved it, baby.
Well,
You're going to be getting a red lightsaber soon? Huh? You going to get one of these? You going to get one of these bad boys?
Well,
Jedi?
I like the Mace Windu purple because he walks the line.
You don't like that. You like this motherfucker. This is a bad boy red Sith lightsaber. Look at that. Star Wars Yaddle fans, you like that fucking thing? Huh? How good is this shit? I'll chop his head off right now. You want me to see you chop his head off? Look at this. Huh? I'll tell you what. We start a Patreon. We started that Patreon. Let's not talk about it for like fucking every goddamn for 35 minutes on end. But I will say this. On Patreon, maybe I'll do a tier. $10,000. I'll decapitate Jedi Jared live on Yaddle Chattle.
We'll do a beheading
Live on Yaddle Chattle, we'll decapitate Jedi Jared.
for 10 grand.
That's the $10,000 tier. Okay?
We have to hit 100 patrons to hit that on that tier.
Well, listen. Regardless, we are having fun. Star Wars is in good shape. We've got some Star Wars news we're going to attend to at first.
Okay.
Then we'll do a little Mando talk. That will be the brunt. And then a little a Bad Batch. We'll do a Star Wars cage match. Get the hell out of here. First of all, Bob Iger talking a lot about Star Wars, addressing a lot of different things about Star Wars.
Okay.
Said the Solo movie was disappointing.
Yes.
He was talking about box office results, of course. He was not talking about the content. But obviously, the Solo was disappointing. But I still would like to wonder why, when Disney will take responsibility for Solo being disappointing. I'm a Solo fan. I love the movie.
That won't happen.
And when are they going to step? When is Iger or Kathleen Kennedy going to step up and say, hey, you know what? Why we released a Star Wars movie 5 months after a Star Wars movie is totally beyond us. We fucked up. We're batshit insane. That was a bad idea.
But I don't think you're ever going to get that.
We wait longer between Star Wars series on Disney Plus than we waited between The Last Jedi and Solo. And again, some people are going to say, well, you know, and I do think that the polarizing nature of The Last Jedi also affected Solo. But let's just take that away. Let's just say that The Last Jedi made $1 billion and unanimously was beloved by Star Wars fans. I still think
they would have.
It would have been too short. Because if that was the case, if it was still beloved by fans, I think fans probably would still be watching it in the theater in May.
They would be hyped up for it.
Let's not forget, this is Star Wars. The movies that made their name on repeated viewings. Maybe the first movie ever where people had to watch it 4, 5 fucking times, 7 times. How many times do you see Star Wars this summer? 10 times. When a Star Wars movie hits, people like me will watch it 4 or 5 times in the theater. So it's stupid to have another movie come out 5 months after that. No matter what the reviews are.
Well, I mean,
because if the reviews were good, I would have still. What I'm saying is, I was still, and I think a lot of Star Wars fans are still in Last Jedi mode in May of 2018 when Solo came out. Fucking Last Jedi had just come out in December of 2017. This was May of 2018. Everyone was still in Last Jedi mind frame. It was never Solo's fault. It was always the scheduling.
It was always, you could say it was always The Last Jedi's fault.
But I actually maintain that even had The Last Jedi done well, people still then would be repeatedly seeing The Last Jedi in the theater, thinking about The Last Jedi, and thus Solo still would have suffered at the box office.
I don't know. I think that the market's definitely changed dramatically from when you were a kid and when I was a kid. Because
shit.
I'm gonna use this as
I was a kid in the 80s.
I'm gonna use this as
VCRs and shit.
A great example.
Now they got fucking YouTube.
I'm gonna use this as a great example. Remember There's Something About Mary?
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
With the jizz in the air?
Yeah.
Is that where this is going?
No.
Huh?
No, there's no.
Are we going to recreate that scene?
No, we're not going to have jizz in the air.
Hey.
Is that hair gel?
Ever see a Sith with cum in his hair? Is that where you're going with this?
No.
You fucking sick freak.
That movie was in the theaters for like 6 months. And most movies...
When movies do well, don't take them out.
Well, no.
You think fucking Avatar's coming out anytime soon?
Yeah. I think because the trend has shown that
you're wrong.
Something like Avatar people will see in the theater, but the overall trend has actually been that DVD sales, and streaming and on demand. You sound like
might as well be watching shit on 8-track.
That's what it was heading towards before all these streaming services.
It's streaming. No one buys DVDs. First of all, you just left out Blu-rays. If you're still getting DVDs when you can get a Blu-ray, then what are you doing?
I think it's the same shit.
DVD. No, Blu-ray is a nicer quality.
I'm just saying
a picture.
It's digital video disc.
I understand, but the Blu-ray quality is better.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, a DVD and like a movie on a disc.
Fine. Movie
you're
on disc.
arguing with.
I'm splitting hairs. Go ahead.
Yeah, yours. Okay, so the trend was always moving towards people wanting to watch at home because going to the movies becomes a real fucking expense. Like, you got to think it's going to cost $60 to $70 for a family of four just to get tickets. Then popcorn, soda, snacks. Then you've got to deal with all the other people that they're gonna be on their phone. They're not gonna fucking shut up.
A much bigger issue is that America has charged the shit out of its citizens forever, and now it's really fucking Americans in the ass with how much they charge everything. Every single service is too expensive. Everything in the United States of America is too expensive. Yeah. But that's my 2 cents. Go ahead.
But like, your TV is huge, right? It's got great quality. You've got a great sound system.
Look at me.
You could
look at me, baby.
You could have.
Huge television, great sound system, according to Jedi and Jared. You know what? 15 points for me for getting it done. Go ahead.
You could have a theater-esque type of quality experience in the comfort of your own home.
I do every single night when I put on the Star Wars. I do all the time. That's why I watch the Star Wars constantly. I can't tell you. I still support my favorite movie franchises and things in the movie theater. But do I? I haven't seen Marvel. And a lot of the newer Marvel movies I have not seen in the movie theater. I wait till they appear on Disney Plus
because it's expensive to go. Like, you
got
two kids,
and that franchise has cooled off a little bit for me since Infinity Wars and Endgame.
Do you know what the next movie will probably be that I'll see in the theater?
What?
It'll be Indiana Jones.
And that I'm seeing.
But that's
I'm seeing in the theater.
I haven't been to the movie theater in like 8 months, 6 or 7 months.
That's why Bob Iger's got to understand. He has a gold mine waiting for him. I do think, even though the Disney Plus content for me has been fantastic across the board, especially the live action stuff. For me, no complaints. I've loved all of it. Okay, I really have. But you have an opportunity for a jackpot situation with the right Star Wars movie. Now, I will say this. He did say that, okay, so second Bob Iger story is this. Patty Jenkins of Rogue Squadron and Kevin Feige of Marvel. Feige was going to do a Star Wars movie and Patty Jenkins was going to do an X-Wing movie. Both projects are totally dead. Iger officially made that announcement. They're gone. I'm actually happy for the Patty Jenkins thing. Not because I don't like Patty Jenkins, but because I wanted to take her X-Wing movie and transition that to a Poe standalone movie where it's going to be Poe, Top Gun, perfect timing, Poe Maverick type of thing. And we're going to have all kinds of X-Wing battles in space, on planets, asteroid fields, and whatever you could possibly think of. And it's going to be a very awesome, action-packed, X-Wing heavy movie. And it would star Poe. See, this is one of my standalone movies or one of my new movies that I have for the sequel trilogy era. Okay, Bob Iger, give me a call, broskins. Because I have the way to get you back into the movie theater, Bobby. I'll get Star Wars back into the movie theater chains where they belong, Bobby. Where we're eating the popcorn and the Sour Patch Kids in the movie theater, in the chairs. I can do that. That's my Oscar Isaac movie right there. Rogue Squadron, perfect. Take Patty Jenkins away from it. Or hell, if they like Patty Jenkins as a director, then keep her as the director of the movie. I got no problems with that, but I want to take away from a new class of people with Rogue Squadron, and I want to just give that to Poe. I also want John Boyega to finally get his Finn Jedi movie, and the Finn Jedi movie will be about Finn saving other younglings, teens, and young adults who have the Force sensitives, and Finn will be in charge of saving them before the First Order, Empire, the Sith, whatever, come and exterminate them. That's a perfect movie. Ready to go. That's 2 movies for the sequel trilogy era. Bam, bam, Bob. You want the fucking movies? Here you go. Come give me a call. Darth David. All right, Davey Mack. Give me a ring. Iger said he has put those people, that's it, Jenkins and Feige are out. They asked why, and he said, because we are waiting to make the right Star Wars movie. Now, what does that mean? Now you may talk, Jedi Jared.
Okay, so I thought the first Wonder Woman was an excellent film. It was probably one of the best superhero films that's been
Up at the mic,
been made.
Dude, look at the people.
Okay.
Why don't you like the people? Look at the people.
I thought it was one of the best superhero films made. I thought Wonder Woman 84 was one of the worst superhero films ever made.
Awful.
It was awful.
I couldn't believe I watched it. I'll tell you what I did. I fucked up. I didn't see Wonder Woman. So I got my first taste of Wonder Woman with Wonder Woman 1984. And I was like, was this movie made for like a budget of $18? I thought the special effects looked lame. I thought it was corny. I thought the sound was even off. Everything about it looked fake and phony. That was shit.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a great movie.
It sucked.
So I feel like that probably is playing that and the fact that straight up
Look at the people.
DC has completely dropped her from the Wonder Woman, which doesn't help her.
Is that true?
Yeah. James Gunn's like, we're just going to go in a different direction now.
Are they keeping Wonder Woman?
I don't know.
All right, hey, listen. This ain't Wonder Woman Chattle. Okay. It's Yaddle Chattle.
So as far as Kevin Feige goes, he probably sat him down and is like, you have to fix Marvel. You can't do anything else. Fix fucking Marvel.
That's a pretty decent point. I would think that has to be the case because he is dealing with that. Because they know Marvel is way more in the shits than Star Wars is. It's bizarre that some people are trying, I think, to put Marvel in the shits when it's not. It's been great on Disney Plus. It's been fantastic.
What you mean?
And Marvel struggle.
Oh, you're saying no? You meant Star Wars.
Star Wars has not been the shits on Disney Plus. Star Wars has been tremendous on Disney Plus. Okay, so I
agree.
I don't think that they should be putting Star Wars in the we have a problem type of category. The way they do need to put Marvel in that exact category. They have a problem with Marvel.
I think that he's like, you've built this great thing with Marvel. It's kind of faltering. Fucking fix it. No Star Wars, no other fucking projects. This is your fucking baby. See it through the fucking, rebound it, and then we'll re-examine if you get to do
Iger said that we're going to be moving forward with Avengers movies and with a whole new young Avengers cast. So that's the plan, and that was why the plan sucked. And hey, folks in fucking Hollywood, stop killing off classic fucking characters! You don't need to kill off Luke fucking Skywalker. You don't need to kill off fucking Iron Man. You don't need to kill him off. You stupid, unimaginative assholes. You don't need to ever fucking kill off icons. Put them on ice. Put them in danger. Get them somewhere else. Remove them. But don't fucking kill them off, you stupid idiots. That's why you're having all these problems, and that's why you get the fan outcry that you get. And yet you keep making this stupid-ass mistake time and time again where you keep fucking killing off people that are beloved. And it's some fucking 41-year-old asshole, fucking director, fucking film school fucking nerd who thinks he needs to change the entire game by killing off a major character. And he's the only person on the planet who wants to see the character get kicked off. This keeps happening. Stop it.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Rian Johnson?
I'm talking about Rian Johnson. I'm talking about Star Wars. I'm talking about Marvel. They keep killing off people that don't need to be killed off.
I don't understand what, Batman. They don't kill Batman. They just recast him.
Exactamundo.
They don't kill James Bond. They just recast him.
You recast?
You recast him.
If you don't want Luke Skywalker a big part of the fucking new trilogy, then just get him then never bring him up. Or say he's lost. Or say we don't know where he is.
Well, that's what they did in the beginning. And then they found Luke Skywalker, and Rian Johnson ruined him.
See this? I'm bringing so much excitement to Yaddle Chattle that I got a dog barking outside. Dog's freaking out.
Before we... Oh, well, no.
Yeah. What are you going to do about it, puppy? Huh?
He's walking.
Keep on walking.
The dog's walking.
Keep on walking. Probably, I'm not sure if the microphone could pick that up, but if you could, that was special. The passion that Darth David brought just there has gotten dogs barking in the goddamn apartment.
Yelping
a little
dog.
fucking asshole, a little white dog, a little white poodle type thing. I don't know what the hell.
Shih
Tzu, something like that. Fluffy. I don't like curly haired dogs. That's always been the thing.
Yeah.
Don't call me prejudiced, but I don't like curly headed dogs. All right, dogs with little curly hair,
you like
they
short
look
hair.
like Screech and Dustin. They all remind me of Dustin Diamond. I can't do that. I can't be petting Dustin Diamond for fuck's sake. All right, now listen.
F.
That's the Bob Iger situation. The other thing that was revealed with this phone call or whatever is that Taika Waititi is looking to now star in his own Star Wars movie. Now, I don't know if this means that he's still writing it.
Are they bringing back IG-11? And
the original thing was we were going to give Taika a movie to make, to write and direct. He had written that Jojo Rabbit and won an Oscar for that. So that, I think, was the combination of the success with Thor Ragnarok said, okay, let's give Taika a Star Wars movie. But now he's going to star in a movie.
Well, he played Hitler in Jojo Rabbit.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he no longer actually directing the film or writing the film? Is it just, okay, we like Taika, but he's going to be starring in a new movie, and maybe he has an idea, but we'll bring in a writer and director?
I think that, when Ben Affleck was involved with, like, DC as Batman, the whole plan was for him to write, direct, and star in a Batman movie. Like, do all three things. So, is it possible for someone to write, direct, and star? I mean, Clint Eastwood does it.
No, I know that's possible. That's a lot for Star Wars, though. I think Star Wars is a different animal for the film auteur experience, where you're writing, directing, acting, editing, and all that shit. It's too big. There's too many moving parts. There's too many components to a Star Wars movie that if you're the actor, writer, director, I don't know. I feel like some things can get lost in the cracks there.
Here's the thing. Do we know that he signed anything on the line? Why
are you looking down this whole episode?
Sorry, I don't know.
Let's pause for a second, because people on Yaddle Chattle don't want to hear me
yell at me.
They do want to hear me yell at me. I've realized that's just one person. Kevin Flynn sometimes is a little sensitive for Jedi Jared, okay? But these are the reasons why I yell at you, because you repeat your mistakes. Why are you looking down today?
I don't even know.
Well, could you look up and speak into the microphone and look to the camera, because we're doing this show for people.
Okay, you got it.
Not for your shoelaces.
Okay.
Now, this puts Darth David in a bad light, and everyone says, look at him giving him shit.
You're fine, and you're 100% right.
Thank you. What'd you have, a long day at work today?
Yeah, it's been a long week.
What happened today?
Real quick. Nothing.
What happened?
It was actually a great day.
The boss is on your case?
I'm just tired.
The fucking boss? No shit. No shit. You're literally looking at the fucking floor. What happened? The boss is on your case?
No.
What did he say?
No, nothing.
Get those orders done, Jared, by 4 p.m. Otherwise, your ass is grass.
No.
And I'm a lawnmower.
No.
Is that what he said?
No. I had a great day at work.
Hey, Jared Fishman, you shut the fuck up. Otherwise, you're getting the pink slip. Is that how your boss talks to you?
No.
Huh? That piece of shit? Hey, you...
Whoa.
You
don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
I said that piece of shit, not you piece of shit. I said that piece of shit.
No,
and if you let me continue, I was going to say, I will confront the boss for you.
I work for a wonderful company with wonderful people. It's a pleasure to work at. And it's just that yesterday I had a very long day of driving.
Okay. I was trying to defend the Yaddle Chattle, the name of Yaddle Chattle, and my Yaddle Chattle co-host by offering to drive to your boss's house and give him a piece of my mind. You're saying this is...
We're good. We're good. I'm going to look back into
the camera. But for the record, Yaddleheads, this was me trying to help him.
I agree. Well, let's not argue about it anymore.
I'm not even arguing. All right, let's continue.
So, I don't know. Nothing's been set in stone. I'm going to write a movie. I'm going to write a trilogy. I'm going to write and direct a trilogy. I'm going to write, direct, and star in a trilogy. I don't even know if it's even going to happen because no one's actually officially announced anything.
I am being dead serious. If Disney wants help, lock me in a room with 4 or 5 of those Disney writers who can write scripts, and I will just churn out ideas for stories. Many of them will be fucking awesome. Some of them will be batshit insane, and you simply cannot ever make these movies ever, otherwise we'd all be arrested, if not executed. But some of the ideas will be fucking gold. And at first I was joking around about Bob Iger calling me, but the fact that we have no movement on Star Wars movies, it just nothing is going on, says they don't know what they want. Well, I do. I have an idea. Let me help you.
I think that they did what they wanted. They did exactly what they wanted with the sequel trilogies. They hired the director.
No.
They hired...
After the Iger has said, after Solo, they pulled the plug on most of them. Well, they absolutely pulled the plug on standalones.
Yeah.
And they said and we're committed to this trilogy. But once the trilogy is done, no more movies. We have to sit on the sidelines and rethink what we're doing. No. But they're not happy with the Star Wars movies overall.
Whose fault is that, though?
It's theirs. I didn't say it's not.
But they're not gonna. They're not going to admit that they screwed everything up. They're not going to admit that they didn't have a George Lucas directing the grand big picture,
which was stupid because all you had to do was keep George Lucas. You say, George, here's what you're going to do. You're going to be an advisor for this final trilogy. You are going to be the Kevin Feige for this trilogy, and then, enjoy retirement. And I'm sure Lucas would have signed up for it.
He would.
I'm sure Lucas would have signed up for that because these are his movies. The episodic films are his. I think the Clone Wars let him show that he can delegate work and stories and canon and mythology to other people. But the episodic films were his. He needed to be a part of it, and Disney shut him out, and that was a fucking terrible decision.
That's the point that I'm making, is that Disney made the films that they wanted to, especially with the sequel trilogies. They hired the most sanitized, audience-friendly, McDonald's director, J.J. Abrams. He is McDonald's.
He's a good director. I like some of his movies and stuff. It's just
honestly,
JJ's not the guy to be writing shit.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree.
I think JJ's very visual, and I think he does have some good ideas with regards to stories. He doesn't have good ideas with regards to tying things together and tying the stories together, and he is not a master of the payoff. He's a good master of the setup. You got to have a guy who knows how to set up, and pay it off. That's where he struggles.
Well, no, I think that he's one of these guys that he doesn't understand story development. He doesn't understand character development. He doesn't understand arcs. He's able to
Noah's Ark?
Well, like the hero's journey.
Never heard of it. The only arc I know of is Noah. Or Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark.
Got it. Okay.
Continue.
But he doesn't understand how to do those things. Do you remember what Super 8 was? Because I don't fucking remember that movie. It's one of the most forgettable films I've ever fucking seen. I know he was trying to capture a Goonies, Explorers, like Spielberg and Joe Dante-esque type of film.
He's a Spielberg type guy.
But it was missing Spielberg magic.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
I thought Mission Impossible 3 was the worst of the entire fucking series.
I actually like Mission Impossible 3. But regardless, we know JJ's faults.
But my point is, the studios made the movies that they wanted to make. They hired directors. They hired the writers. There was all of this oversight. Like, you had Kathleen Kennedy. You had these producers. They made the movies they wanted to make. And they're like, well, we don't know what happened. People stopped showing up. Well, you killed off Luke Skywalker. You kind of didn't really have one coherent story.
I'm really surprised that these movie company heads don't understand that. I am shocked that Kathleen Kennedy allowed Rian Johnson to kill off Luke fucking Skywalker in the second act of a 3-act play. That is the cardinal sin of storytelling. You're taking so many options off the table when you make that decision, and that is why the sequel trilogy got ruined. I'm wearing a Last Jedi shirt as we speak, so I don't dislike the sequel trilogy, but I will always detest that decision because it fucked the fucking movies up. Regardless of people who love The Last Jedi, and again, I'm someone who likes it, but even if the people who love The Last Jedi, they have to be understanding for a second here. You can love The Last Jedi and say, fuck, we shouldn't have taken Luke Skywalker off the table. It's like a sports team that just decides in the fourth quarter, we're going to bench Tom Brady. Why? Well, we're just going to do something different. We're looking to do something new. So even though Brady's had a great 3 quarters, and it's the Super Bowl, and we're up by 7 points, we're just going to bench him. No Tom Brady for the fourth quarter. Fuck him. So, I don't know what to tell you.
So
it's my phone.
I know.
It's my son, Stanley.
I got it.
Sith Stanley wanted to call. I'm sure he wants to chime in. Hold on. Let me just really quickly. Hi, I'm doing Yaddle Chattle right now.
Hi, Stanley.
Hi. So I can call you back, okay? I
thought you were maybe done.
Oh, okay. Do you want to say anything about the Mandalorian real quick?
You got to put it up there.
Do you?
So people could see Stanley.
Been a good 2 episodes.
It's been a what?
It's been a great 2 episodes.
It's been a great 2 episodes. Okay, buddy. I'll call you back, okay, in about 45 minutes, hour or something. Okay. All right, bye.
So maybe we could talk about this now. And then we'll get into Mando talk.
How about that analysis from Sith Stanley, though? He's as brief as you. See, although he's 13. What's your excuse?
Okay.
And by the way, he's looking properly at the camera and does all the proper. But I will say that he does the proper camera look. Really, what you want to be looking at is that.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I'm gonna look at that.
There you go. Now you're making eye contact with the Yaddle heads.
Okay.
Hey, there are some. I've gotten some reports. Some people are like, "Ooh, Jedi Jared, he's kind of sexy for a Jedi."
Thanks.
I'm like, he's married, ladies.
I am.
Happily so. Look at that. Now, how come you went with the black band? That's a Sith-like band, in my opinion.
So this is a silicone band, because I do jiu-jitsu, and there's this whole thing where if
so you didn't want to spend the money for the
no,
for the
I have a real wedding band.
He didn't want to spend money for the gold. That's why. Don't believe the fucking jujitsu.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, I thought you were gonna go with the. Never mind.
What? I want to hear.
I thought you were gonna make an ethnic joke.
What?
Well,
I was not going to do that.
Okay, fine. That's where I was. I think I feel like at certain points I'm like on your level, and then there are other times.
No. You are a bad person because you think of shitty things and assume that I'm going to say them, and they don't even cross my mind.
Oh well.
You thought I was going to do an ethnic joke.
Well, it's about being cheap and Jewish.
Now, you're just to remind Yaddle fans, just so now you don't get accosted for people giving you hate speech. You're Jewish, correct?
Yes, I am Jewish.
Okay. So that's where your mind went.
Can I just find?
But that's where your mind went.
Well, I thought you were going to do that.
But I wasn't.
I didn't realize. Okay, I thought we were setting up for that joke. All right, never mind. So, you know what? I want to talk about this now because you made me rewatch the fucking Last Jedi. You were like, I want you to rewatch The
All right,
Last
good.
Jedi.
Then let's do this, and we'll go into
Mando,
Mando,
that's
and,
fine.
and talk quick Bad Batch,
Yeah.
quick Cage Magic, get out of here.
So
What's your Mando? This is episode 8. Jared's episode. Yes, I gave you a homework assignment about 4 weeks ago.
I did complete it.
It took you 4 weeks to watch
Wow.
The Last Jedi. Come
No,
on.
I watched it.
But nevertheless, you got the job done. So now give me your new Last Jedi review. And were you smoking any pot?
No.
I asked you to smoke a little weed to put yourself in a good mood. Marijuana's legal in New Jersey, folks. Don't give us shit.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. I thought we were supposed to watch episode 4 high.
Watch them all. It's Star Wars, man. They're fun to watch non-high and high.
Well,
hate to say,
I didn't want to forget anything.
All right. So what? So thoughts?
I actually dislike it more now after watching it again.
Well-
I'm like, I'm gonna try to keep an open mind, see a diamond in the rough, like I did with episode 1. Like I'm gonna, and I ended up hating it even more.
All right. Why?
For every reason why I've hated it before. What they did to Hux in the beginning. The annoying Rose character.
Oh, the banter between Hux and Poe.
Yeah.
With your mama.
Your
Mom
mama.
joke?
The mom joke.
Yeah,
just
mom joke.
completely
A Star Wars
dismasculating.
mom joke.
Like, do you think Tarkin would have taken that?
I don't know.
Do you think Veers would have taken that shit?
It was an attempt at humor, and it was unsuccessful. Despite Rian Johnson thinking it was the funniest thing of all time and saying, hey, man, there's humor in Star Wars. No one's saying that we don't want humor in Star Wars. It's got to be funny.
Rian Johnson negating, 30 or 40 plus years of Star Wars lore because he wanted to have World War II bombers instead of using Y-Wings, which are bombers.
Yeah, well, that is true. Why do those things move so slowly?
Because Rian Johnson wanted to have B-52 bombers and not Y-Wings.
Well, those things did look cool, but they should have moved faster. I do agree with that.
The whole point of an X-Wing is it's supposed to be a fast,
yeah.
like it's got the.
I get the concept of the bombers, though, the shape of them, and they can drop like 1,000 bombs. But to me, they did need to move faster. I mean, they were literally moving in slow motion. It was as slow as the fucking Robert Rodriguez goddamn scooter chase in Book of Boba Fett. I mean, infamously slow right there. You're like, is it ever gonna get there? I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
The fact that we see Rey hands Luke the lightsaber, the family heirloom. Like
that,
this is the last thing.
I have a problem. Are you going to talk about the throwing over the shoulder?
Yeah,
That to me is an issue that I had because it makes it dismissive rather than an act of intentional non-violence, if you will.
No, I agree with you.
If Luke Skywalker had taken the lightsaber from Rey and thrown it down to the floor the way he did in Return of the Jedi, then we're going echoes of Jedi, and we're going, this is Luke Skywalker saying, you need to be a pacifist. Stop with all this shit. But when you throw something over your shoulder like that, it's dismissive. The fact, again, that that's not being caught, that a producer, a fucking someone doesn't catch that and go, bro, that doesn't look right, man.
Because Johnson was going for humor. That was the entire humor move.
That was not the place for humor. That part there. No,
it was.
I am a fan of The Last Jedi. Now you're making me like.
Oh, I'm gonna turn
fucking
you.
shit on it.
I'm gonna turn.
I don't want to.
I'm gonna turn you right now. So he throws it away. Now think about what this lightsaber is.
I agree.
This is the
with
family
that.
heirloom.
No,
this was his father's lightsaber.
Very important.
It was the only thing he has to remember, like the physical thing that Ben gave him.
Yeah.
Who he just he loves like an uncle.
Nothing about that moment was accurate. I will agree with you on that. That sucked. Now tell me, what's the thing that's going to make me cry? You said you were going to...
Oh, no, I'm going to turn you and say you're going to think that this is a shit film.
Okay, why?
So I was thinking about this from even a filmmaking standpoint. Star Wars always typically has one plot, like episode 4, right? It follows a linear path. We have we're following the Death Star plans as they go from Leia to Luke and as this fellowship grows, then there's the jailbreak.
Right.
But it's all one plot, right? Empire Strikes Back. 2 subplots, right?
Right.
You've got the Luke training with Yoda, and then you've got the Han and Leia on Bespin,
Yeah.
right?
They keep it simple, yeah.
Return of the Jedi, basically one plot.
Yeah.
With the subplot of Luke going back to Dagobah,
Right.
then the Luke, and then so there's
Luke over here, Han and Leia over there. I get it. So what's your point?
There at most someone's attention is 2 subplots.
Okay.
The Last Jedi has 3 subplots because 1, you have Rey and Luke, you have Poe on the ship, and then you have the Finn, Rose on Canto Bight.
And you could even argue Kylo Ren is definitely a subplot.
Then I guess whatever Kylo Ren's going through.
Yeah, because he is doing something. He is going through some shit.
So there's 4 fucking subplots that people have to follow. And I feel like it's taking away from everything. Then
They should have never split up Poe and Finn.
No, I
After
think,
episode 7, Poe and Finn needed to be Abbott and Costello, bosom buddies, whatever fucking analogy you want to have.
I think that the Canto Bight scene would have been infinitely better if they turned it into a buddy cop kind of scenario. With Finn and Poe.
That's my point. Yeah, and this isn't an anti-Rose thing. It's why did we have Poe and Finn? Like, why weren't they working together?
Then we have this other subplot of on the ship, which is basically the plot of Speed. That if this ship goes fast, it doesn't make any sense. Like the whole thing about being on that ship and they can't match our speed, but if we go into light speed, they'll be able to track us. It was fucking stupid. It didn't make sense. Why did they take Carrie Fisher off the board for the whole fucking movie and put someone we've never heard of?
That's true. We didn't need Laura Dern when they could have had Carrie Fisher do all of that. And Carrie Fisher was underutilized and then tragically died. So we didn't get Leia at her
not only
full potential.
Do we get Leia almost missing throughout the entire film.
It's depressing. Look, just let me come in here for a second. Disney has to understand. Go and look back at it. And tell Star Wars fans from the original trilogy that it's not a really depressing trilogy for OT Star Wars fans. Fucking Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker all die. And their deaths really weren't significant. If Han fucking sacrificed to fucking blow himself up and blow the, what was the name of the base? Star Killer?
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's a way to sacrifice. You know, Luke Skywalker sacrificing for fucking 16 rebels in a cave and a couple of crystal dogs. That's not a fucking sacrifice. And then Leia's sacrifice happens like secluded, like she's off in a corner.
Well, she
like
just goes
like
off
a
to
fucking
die.
pile of garbage while everyone else is in the headquarters and this and that. She's just off in a corner, and it's just like, it's depressing. It's like a fucking dog that knows that he's on its way out. So the dog walks to the backyard to his favorite tree because he knows that his time is coming. This has happened before. That's the way it happened with Leia. Now, you look at those 3 incidents and you tell me that's not depressing as shit? It's depressing.
It's not
That's why OT fans, it's not man babies, oh, you're crying, your tears, your fanboy tears and all that bullshit. Don't tell us that stuff doesn't mean a lot to us. Don't make original trilogy people feel like assholes because we've cared about this shit and loved this shit for 40 years. Don't make us feel small. Don't make us feel like we're the fucking problem.
Well.
Now I'm hopped up, and yet I'm the one wearing the fucking t-shirt, and I'm the one who says that he likes the sequel trilogy, which is the truth.
Good.
But you made me crazy today.
Good.
You're the Sith.
Good.
Sometimes I feel like I'm Anakin and he's Palpatine.
Good.
He's the Sith.
Yes.
Because now I'm worked up.
Good. Because you should be. Because this entire movie was wasted opportunity. They wasted... How many times have I brought up they wasted Finn? They wasted Phasma.
I don't want to discuss him more. Let's do Mando.
But you get.
I'm gonna cry.
But you get what I'm saying. It's not a good movie.
All right, you're making me upset. I need to go to Mando.
Okay,
Season
fine.
3, Episode 2.
All right, let's change
to
gears.
get back on track. And let me tell you something. The Mandalorian is the best show on television. And any of you people, like those 2 fucking boneheads from last week, I don't even remember their names and I'm not going to.
One was Danny, but spelled it like a girl, though.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Those 2 bozos who Andor has ruined Star Wars for me. Go fucking sit on a lightsaber and rotate. You understand?
Yes.
Because I have fucking come to the realization that there are straight up critics, writers, bloggers, vloggers who have come into this Mandalorian season
Wanting to hate it.
prepared with a checklist of things with which they are going to say. For instance, I saw one thing on IGN, and the critic was,
no one cares
the episode's too dark. It looks too dark. I can't see. Shut up! First of all, I have heard this. This is too dark, and that's too dark. Game of Thrones is too dark. The Batman's too dark. I keep hearing this too dark criticism. Hey, motherfuckers, hold up. Motherfuckers, do you know that there's a settings on your television? Did you know that you're allowed to fucking put the settings on your TV and make your goddamn television brighter? When I think a fucking show is too dark, you know what I do? I go into my television settings and I make it a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
And you know who has a great time watching Game of Thrones and Batman and The Mandalorian and anything that's too dark? Me!
Yeah.
Anyone who is claiming that that episode was too dark visually can go fuck themselves. They're in a fucking cave. They're underground. It wasn't too dark. I saw that badass alien. I saw that whole fucking thing perfectly. Maybe my eyes are better. I did hit 389 in JV and baseball, so I clearly have 20/20 vision.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yes, we can start from the very beginning.
You were talking last week about the sounds of his starfighter.
I love the way his ship sounds.
And I could see what you were saying when he lands on Tatooine at Amy Sedaris' house. Pelly. I like us calling her Amy Sedaris.
But we that's how we started the episode. We started the episode with Mando back on Tatooine, getting with Pelly because he needs that the IG-11, the memory circuit to be fixed. And I thought that whole part was great. I love human Pelly speaking Jawa. I love the fact that Grogu now seems to be talking. She thought she heard his first words. I think he said Pelly. She's a fucking nut. But I've grown to really appreciate that character. She's a good character. She's a good Star Wars character. She's wacky, but she somehow fits. And she's
wacky. She's kind of a scumbag, but she's an endearing scumbag.
Yeah. Endearing scumbag. Shit, that's endearing dirtbag or endearing
like Han Solo.
White trashy kind of thing. That always works.
Yeah, Han Solo is supposed to be a scoundrel.
Yeah, right.
He's a scoundrel with a heart of gold.
And I think that, and I loved seeing Tatooine have a holiday and shoot fireworks. I actually wanted more. I thought, oh, this looks great. I'll tell you, they're going to the credits in these awesome ways. You know, going to the credits in that ship with fireworks and seeing Grogu. It was spectacular looking. And I did say that maybe the one good thing about Andor will be, because Andor to me is the most cinematic and the most impressive looking visually. To me, it looks like it could be in a movie theater.
Yes.
Whereas Mando has always looked like a TV show. But I'm seeing Mando looking way more and more cinematic. It's looking way more and more cinematic. And maybe that's the good effect, the good influence of Andor. Whereas people say, listen, we all have to make our things movie theater quality because that's what Andor has done. I don't want Mando to be like Andor. I love Andor and I love Mando. Let me harp on this for one more second.
Yeah, sure.
I had a thought
last
week. I'm a fan of Tony Gilroy. I thought, listen, if you're an Andor fan and you have not seen Michael Clayton, do yourself a favor, go check that movie out. Michael Clayton is like Andor just in corporate America. It's a fucking great movie. If you like the ambiance, the paranoia, the intrigue, the mystery of an Andor, Michael Clayton feels very similar.
Does he keep looking behind his shoulder?
You get a lot of fast walking. You get a lot of people walking quickly and looking over their shoulders as they're walking.
Okay, great.
I also like the Bourne movies, but Michael Clayton is the one that I'm concentrating on. I thought that was great. So you have Michael Clayton over here. Now, I also love Jon Favreau movies. Love Iron Man, Elf, Lion King, so on and so forth. Now, Tony Gilroy is much different than a Jon Favreau. I can like a Tony Gilroy movie, and I can like a Jon Favreau movie.
Yeah.
And I believe critics agree on this. And yet, they don't realize how stupid they sound when they're like, look at Andor, look how mature it is. That's the only thing Star Wars should do. No, that's Tony Gilroy's Star Wars, and it works. But just like we can like a Tony Gilroy movie over here and a Jon Favreau movie over here, we can like a Tony Gilroy Star Wars, which is about mystery, intrigue, and dialogue, and paranoia, and the Favreau fucking Star Wars, which is much more OG and aliens and ships and stuff. We can like them both, is my point. Go ahead, please.
The whole, thing of what Favreau's trying to do is take all of the themes and tropes and archetypes that made Star Wars a success and just repackage it in a different way, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Where, we see now this whole thing of baptism, redemption, all of these things are enduring tropes. Mm-hmm. They're all endearing story
staples.
The concept of going on a quest.
Yes.
And he literally refers to it as a fucking quest. I am on this quest now to return the Grogu to the Jedi. Now I'm on this quest to bathe in the water. It's very Arthurian.
Yeah, that's right. Arthurian.
Arthurian. It's very, Lord of the Rings-esque. And you can't say that, Lucas wasn't influenced by all of this, the hero's journey type of thing. Even now,
this is great shit.
He's had the Darksaber, Mandalorian. The Mandalorians had the Darksaber.
Excalibur
has had it for so long, he still can't use it properly.
He doesn't know how to use it. Well, okay, so Mando sees Peli. He's off. He goes to Mandalore. He inhabits a couple of six-eyed fucking aliens that were badass that I love.
So
apparently they live in the toxic wastelands of Mandalore, which is probably why they look all fucked up.
And here's what's brilliant about Favreau is that those creatures reminded me of the Morlocks in H.G. Wells's The Time Machine.
Okay.
Did you ever see the one with Guy Pearce? They remade it
years ago. I did see it. But it was years.
They kind of always described the Morlocks as kind of arthropodic, apish, big, muscular brutes.
Well, that's what these guys were.
But
I thought
they
looked
live under
great.
the ground.
Well,
that was the whole. That was such an homage to the Time Machine.
All right, but fuck the Time Machine.
No, but
what I loved about it, though, I know, I hear what you're saying, but what I loved about it was more aliens, and there's a reason everything was logical. These guys had glowing green eyes. And then we find out, well, that's because they could never live in proper Mandalore. They had to live in the city. They had to live in the toxic dump. So they got all this fucking nuclear radiation and God knows what, and they look like the fucking Toxic Avenger, essentially, if he came into Star Wars. I love those guys.
Yeah,
I love that scene. So then he goes, oh, R5. Love R5. Scaredy cat. Shitty droid, but he's got a little bit of heart. This works.
Yes.
He's not like R2-D2, because R2-D2 he'll always be up for adventure. R2-D2 wants to fly ships. He wants to have fun. I guess there's a couple times where R2 was a little nervous in Jabba's palace where the thing reached out. But usually I think R2-D2 is very courageous.
Yeah.
He's got an abundance of courage. R5, on the other hand, clearly does it.
I
was chuckling at R5 the entire time, loving the fact that this droid could be a fucking, hero now, or actually get a shot to do something. I mean, this is great.
Yes. And it's what makes Star Wars great.
Great!
Like those little moments.
Things are great. So then Mando and Grogu go for the mines, but before he gets there, he this gigantic spider machine that's also being controlled by like an eye that was basically a living alien of some sort.
I kind of viewed it as Grievous 2.0 because
this thing was better. This thing was
cooler.
great.
It was cooler
I
than
loved it. I loved the initial machine.
Yes.
That like came out of the ground.
The shell.
And got, Mando basically in its belly, put Mando in a cage. I thought it was creepy as hell. I also then loved when he came out and he was kind of like a spider person himself. And I thought that was creepy. I loved the noises he was making, the languages he was making, how he sounded. I loved the look. I love the cool eye and that fucking helmet. I thought looked great. Again, folks, I don't want to be criticizing Andor. I'm just saying, we have seen more amazing monsters and creatures and aliens in 2 episodes of Mando than we saw in 12 episodes of Andor. Not a criticism, but I'm just pointing out they're different shows. So you can get your Star Wars fill with all of these different shows and have a great time with all of them because they all play a part. Andor up here. Fucking Mando is right. Andor in the head, I was pointing to. But Mando is all heart. It's all in here. It hits you in the emotional, fun stuff.
Yes.
But
That's what Star Wars is. It's
right.
Emotional, fun stuff.
Grogu gets out of there. He goes to Bo-Katan, and she sees that there's no Mando in the ship. He's in the ship with R5, and she realizes something's going on with Mando and in the mines. So she decides she'll help them, and she goes back into the mines. She then fights those fucking guys, and she just destroys the hell out of them. She annihilates those six-eyed guys.
Did you notice that when she starts talking about like her father, she's like talking about her father a lot, but she doesn't mention her sister at all.
Yeah,
which I thought was a little weird considering, like,
I think that will happen.
You think she'll start talking about Satine?
I do. I think that Favreau wouldn't have even brought back Bo-Katan if at some point they're gonna, I think Bo-Katan will say something about it. But I thought, okay, so Bo-Katan saves Mando. She brings him down to the mines. Mando decides to go in the water. She is reading him some sort of, like one of those plaques you see at a famous landmark. And she's reading the plaque, and it says, this is where Mandalore the Great defeated the Mythosaur and began the Mandalore Society. And she's saying it like, oh, this is bullshit. This is like Santa Claus. This never happened. It's a fairy tale.
But he starts saying like the oath, and then you could start seeing like, again, there's like almost very religious undertones.
Oh my God, it's baptism. It was like a baptism.
Again, like Arthurian kind of. Because he believes in this so much and he's willing to go out of his way, it's starting to like rub off on her, and you could see that she's starting to believe. And
that's what was so cool, because when Mando gets taken, I'm assuming by the Mythosaur, and dragged down to the bottom of the water there, I'm assuming that the Mythosaur decided to look at him. Maybe the Mythosaur just grabbed him and put him down, and then realized maybe even the taste of the Beskar or something, and said, oh, these are those Mandalorians. I don't fuck with them. They're doing that. Like, I Mythosaur do not fuck with Mandalorians, because so Bo-Katan jumps into the water, gets Mando, she jetpacks through the water, up it, and then she turns to the right, and she sees that Mythosaur just staring at her. The Mythosaur doesn't decide to eat them or attack them. She just flies right past him, out of the water, saves Mando, and that's how the episode ends. It's a great ending, because she looks back at the water and goes, "Oh my!" I'm assuming this is what it was in her head. She's wearing a fucking mask.
Like, holy shit, this is real.
Holy shit, these things exist. This is real. This shit is actually real. Oh my God, great ending. How can you not love this show?
I know, it's fucking amazing. Why?
I've watched the first 2 episodes. The first episode I watched 7 times.
Jesus Christ.
As we record this, it's Thursday. I've watched it 4 times. I'm going to be watching it tonight as well, because Yaddle Chattle always puts me in the mood for a Star Wars. So I'm gonna be it'll be viewing number 5. We gotta do Bad Batch and get the heck out of here. But I just gotta say this: at this point, if you're critical of The Mandalorian season 3, you came in with an axe to grind. I'm calling you out. All you critics, Danny, Drew McGarry, IGN, I'm calling all you out. If you're fucking critical of this, you're either not a Star Wars fan or you came in prepared. It was, hey, Mando's had, and that is my concern, is Mando's had 2 glorious seasons, and it's like the critics do this all the fucking time. It's like, okay, now it's season 3, it's been around, so now it's time for me to take shots at it. But these shots are undeserving.
Yeah.
The episodes have been great. So if you are critical, you're not a Star Wars fan, in my opinion. I'm not talking about Yaddle heads. Yaddle heads are allowed to have any opinion you want. You can hate a show and dislike a show. I appreciate Yaddle heads because, goddamn it, if you're watching this fucking shit, you are a Star Wars fan. So I don't fucking doubt your goddamn loyalty and passion to Star Wars. I'm talking about the critics. Yaddle heads, you have any opinion you want. Yaddle heads, critics, if you're hating on this shit, you came in prepared this year to hate. Don't bullshit me.
I 100% agree with you. I think that they definitely want it to fail.
They do.
They want it to fail.
They do. It's Mando's time to get the stick, if you will. And you know what? Fuck off. Because a lot of Mando fans like myself will defend the show. You're lying. You're lying as a critic. If you're a real movie television critic and you appreciated the first 2 seasons, you're lying to yourself. Get out of this childlike mentality that, oh, I loved Andor, but it was so much different. Now everything else is, shut up.
But children don't even like that. If a kid likes something, kids like it.
Stanley Mac's all over. You heard that goddamn thing. Since Stanley loves it. All right. Bad Batch. We're going to do it quick. We got to get out of here. We got some stuff to do. Bad Batch, another good episode.
I passed out.
Weirdly enough, I started to get a little bit confused. So it's difficult for me to recap Bad Batch. Not difficult, but it was all Crosshair.
Yeah, I saw.
And Crosshair got a guy, and they had to go find some stolen cargo.
Yes, on that ice planet, right?
But weirdly enough, it was very dark, and there was a lot of caves, and there was a monster or two. And it kind of started to, I started to think of the fucking Mandalorian that we had just watched. Like, it literally was starting to feel similar to the Mandalorian. But that's not a criticism. These things, it just happened that way. Hey, Crosshair is great. The ending of this episode was fantastic. This was the most adult show we have seen from the Bad Batch this year. And it's been one of the more adult pieces of Star Wars animation we've seen in a while. There were real adult conversations and questions of morality, good versus evil, being a soldier as opposed to being independent. There's some real good stuff to think about in this episode. So again, I'm not going to shit on the Bad Batch when it's doing well. Last 2 episodes for me have done well. Omega was in the last one, and I even liked that one. No Omega, all Crosshair. I love Crosshair. This episode was spectacular.
I think we're eventually going to see that Crosshair is going to rejoin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's where they're heading.
I believe that. All right, give us a cage match, and then we get out of here. An action-packed episode. We were trying to keep under 1 hour, and even on an action-packed episode where we move as quickly as humanly possible, we're over an hour. We just can't help ourselves when it comes to the Star Wars, you know?
I know. Okay.
That's a good thing.
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, my new baby. My new friendly baby.
Versus the Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor. Ooh, I like this one.
I'm trying to come up with good matches so you'd be like, okay.
This is a good match for a change. Jared, I hate to tell you this to you, but I'm going to surprise you.
Okay.
Bo-Katan.
Really? Interesting. Well,
I'll tell you why.
Why?
I've seen the Inquisitor basically getting beaten twice. Once by Kanan in Star Wars Rebels, and once by the girl in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Who, Reva?
Reva. The Inquisitor sucks. The Inquisitor showed that you can get a one-up on the Inquisitor. I love the Inquisitor, both live action and animated. I love the man. I think he's a great character, but there's no way.
Oh, well.
And I have so much respect for Bo-Katan's stock is through the roof after this episode, my friend. Through the roof!
Well, I'm going to say, I think that the Grand Inquisitor was a former Jedi Temple Guard. Those guys are pretty fucking badass. So I think that, hands down, a Force-wielding Jedi turned Sith is going to wipe the floor with a Mandalorian.
Okay, well, I've just checked the actual results, and the results are Bo-Katan would win, so I get the points.
Okay.
I get the 15 points. Minus 200 for you.
Okay.
But all in all, a very high-spirited, entertaining, and enjoyable Yaddle Chattle for you Yaddle heads today. At least that's my opinion. I guess you Yaddle heads could have a vastly different opinion. You could be like, hey, fuck you, Dave. Fuck you. Go ahead, Jared. We gotta get out of here.
Okay, fast. Patreon. Patreon.com/EastsideDave. All we're asking for is for $250. We're going to start unlocking some new tiers soon. I'd like to get to 50 patrons first, but hey, I'll take what we can get. Next, follow Eastside Dave across all social media platforms at Eastside Dave. You can check us out on the Watchers/Yaddle Chattle on any, where you ever can get podcasts. Tell your friends. YouTube, Eastside Dave TV. EastsideDaveCountry.com. You can also please support on Instagram Stable Diffused Artwork.
Okay, I don't know what's happening with this plot.
That's Wedges.
Okay. Oh, Wedge. Okay, yeah, support Wedge. All right, listen.
I should have gotten that right. I'm sorry, Wedge.
Wedge, he apologizes. He'll get it right next week for you. Yaddle Chattle heads, I gotta tell you, I am loving this Mandalorian season. I am loving this show. This show has become one of my favorite shows in television history. I put that with Game of Thrones, with Sopranos,
Breaking Bad.
with all of these classic shows. And I mean this. This show is great. If you're a critic, I'm not going to yell at you now. I'm trying to get out of here on a happy note. But if you're a critic, start questioning if you really, really enjoy Star Wars, or if you're just a troll. Hey, listen, that's Jedi Jared. Thank you for the cameo appearance by Sis Stanley. I'm Darth David. Yaddle heads. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.